So here's the thing. I'm reviewing the fourth season, mid-season premiere of Fear the Walking Dead. People Like Us, and I got to be honest with you, it was a disappointment. And for those of you who've listened to my reviews and watched my reviews before, you know that I consider the first half of the fourth season pretty much almost a textbook on how a series can bring in new viewers or lapsed viewers into a series even after 3 seasons. I thought they just did a great job for the first 8 episodes, which is why this episode kind of had me scratching my head and getting a little annoyed because I don't think it really added a lot. Now, granted, I know it has the tough position of being the first episode back after a long stretch, and I think there are some things that are setting themselves up for some very interesting scenarios down the road. But just collectively, I don't know. I just there by the end of it, I just felt like, okay, do I feel like I learned more about people from it? Do I think I gained anything from it? And I gotta say, pretty much no on either account. A couple points I want to touch upon. Right now, you're getting a shrugged is the best way for me to describe it. I essentially feel like the show kind of just shrugged and said, "Hey, we're back." When I was expecting a little bit more forward momentum, along those lines, the way we went into the mid-season break, it felt like as much as there was hardship and heartbreak and everything like that, it felt like there was a bonding and a closeness to the group. I didn't get any sense of that coming back. And again, I know a lot of these emotional instances there can be a bit of a pulling back, but it just felt. I mean, it they felt more connected as a group when they were going at each other and hunting each other when the vultures were involved than what I was really feeling from them tonight. I'm also starting to notice a clear difference between in the cast in the sense that I'm I love the actors and I love their roles and everything, but like tonight I found myself getting annoyed with Victor and getting annoyed with Luciana. Alicia, I'm still a fan of. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But I was starting to get annoyed by them, and even on the news side, I'm still a big John Dory fan. I'm still a big Althea fan. But again, from the June slash Laura slash Naomi standpoint, I, I want to get a little more stability with the character. I think if we keep going down the road of, well, you don't really know me, you don't know what I'm like, you don't know what I've done, I feel like you better give me some good mystery then. Because if we're just going to keep hearing this and it's just the fact like, well, I run from people, I don't trust people, I feel like it's going to get old very quickly. So I'm hoping to see some different movement in the John Dory June dynamic, because right now I just feel like, I hate to say it, but I'm like, John Dory, just wait it out and find somebody else. I know it's horrible to say, I know it's horrible, but that's just kind of how it felt, and I haven't felt that way about the character. So I'm chalking it up to this episode. Charlie, again, I think it's an instance where there's a potential for this character, but we're just going down the same route of killed somebody, dealing with guilt, going to put themselves in horrible situations to potentially commit, I guess, Walker related suicide, and then they're going to learn the error of their ways and grow from it. Again, I'm just not finding the character that interesting yet, which is, again, nothing against the actress or the character herself, because I think there is serious potential there, especially long term with Fear the Walking Dead. But right now, again, it was just one of those like, really, I just felt like we've gone down that road. Morgan, loving Morgan. I'm loving the Morgan and Alicia dynamic, and that's one of those things that I would like to see carry forward. Just like the storyline about the walkers and the posts and everything like that. They lend in these little mysteries that again, I'd like to see some more of these stretch out over time. The flags and the banners in the first half, I thought, again, was a nice, interesting touch. Right now, I just feel like if the only cohesive thing that's tying them together is Morgan looking to leave and Morgan, wanting to go back to Alexandria, I don't think that's good enough. There needs to be some glue and some commonality to kind of move this forward. And I feel like, and from what I've been reading, we're going to get that as the season rolls along. Just right now in this first returning episode, it was a little lacking. And on a side note, I just want to say too, Alicia, the one thing I didn't buy into was the guilt and the browbeating of Morgan to get him to stay. If anybody has earned the right to go back to Alexandria and to look Rick in the face and be like, you're right, I belong here, it's Morgan. And even still, this guy bends over backwards this entire episode to get everybody to come with him. And to be honest with you, of everybody I've seen so far, Alicia and John Dory seem like they would be the ones that would fit in the best in the Hilltop or Alexandria or in the communities. And again, it's just the performances from Lenny James, especially adding layers to Morgan at Fear the Walking Dead that I feel like he didn't get a really chance to explore in The Walking Dead. I think it's just been amazing, and what elevates this episode above just being like, I would not recommend it. I would recommend this with an asterisk for the completest of the season, and maybe this might change as we get more details about certain things that were brought up, and how they play out. But for now, glad Fear the Walking Dead's back. I'm just glad and wish it kind of would have come back on something better than this. That's all. But hey, there is always next week, and next week and 6 more episodes after that. So, but otherwise, a good season so far. Bit of a major stumble here, but have expectations that it'll all be back good for next week.